Well, good morning and good afternoon, wherever you are tuning in from. It is the first Thursday of the month. It is October, and we are so excited to be with you again. Unlike Tuesday, when none of us could be on Facebook, we are so happy to be here with you guys and get to share in this gathering planning process with you guys. My name is Meredith Smith, and I'm here with DCE Juliana Schultz. And this month, since online data entry just started this week, we're going to keep talking about registration. So if you've got your registration book handy, like I do at all times, we're going to be going through that. Make sure you have that. If you don't have it yet, you can find it on the Gathering website and download that and follow along. Before we get into registration, which we know is a very popular topic and you might have a lot of questions, we want to go through just a few announcements with you guys to make sure you don't miss other important gathering information that's been put out in the last month. First and foremost, we have a gathering store. Last month, like right after we did our Facebook Live, we opened the store. So if you haven't gotten your In All Things gear, you might want to head to lcmsgathering.com/store to get that. I know that I have been wearing, it's officially hoodie season in St. Louis. Even though 70 is hoodie season for me, it might not be for everybody. I've been wearing my In All Things hoodie a lot. Don't laugh at me, Juliana. I am from Texas.
Holiness.
So make sure you guys have gone online to get that. And a little birdie told me that in the upcoming months, we might have some new merch, new just anything with In All Things in it. So you might want to bookmark that, share it with your youth, and get that, get those items bought. The next thing that we know is on like the forefront of everybody's mind right now. COVID-19 is still something that we are talking about, still something we are dealing with. The gathering planners and gathering, our office continue to work with the city officials, health and safety officials. We're working with all of the venues and gathering planners to ensure that this event can be held safely. In the last few weeks, since we've had our last Facebook update, we did update those COVID-19 FAQs. I would encourage you, we won't talk too much about them because we do have a lot of good information on the website. If you have not gone to the Gathering website, click on the FAQs and we do have a full section of those COVID-19 updates. And as we continue those conversations with the city, we will continue to update those for you guys. Juliana, I think there's a couple other things you might want to cover.
There are. First of all, I want to go back and mention that the Gathering store does also have socks, I believe, which I love. They're excellent socks. I'm not quite ready for hoodie weather just yet, but I love a good pair of socks. And yeah, so we have some great things going on. If you aren't familiar yet, hopefully you can be still. End Goals is our podcast. We've been doing our podcast, if you can believe it, for almost 2 years now. But one of the things we've done in this cycle is move a lot of the kind of straightforward information, ways for you to think about the gathering to the podcast. And so since the last time we talked, we've had a couple of those podcast drops we want to draw your attention to. So one of them, Krista Miller, on our staff in charge of all the registration and registrar for the gathering, joined us on the podcast, talked about registration. Great information there. We appreciate you going and listening to that. Also, Annie Anderson, who did a fantastic presentation at National for first-time leaders. We got such great feedback on that one. So we went ahead and brought her onto the podcast, did a special one just for those first-time leaders. We've seen a lot of you in the Facebook group who are like, this is my first time, or this is the first time my church has gone in a long time. We love that. And we know that there are some like baseline things that are sometimes helpful just for you to know as you get into that planning process. So go listen to the podcast. Continue to ask questions on the Facebook page. We're there to listen and to answer questions that you have. And then coming up at the beginning of next month, we'll have another podcast that'll drop that'll talk about district coordinators and LCEF. So make sure that you are checking out the podcast on KFUO. And if you're looking, there should be a date for the drops on the 18-month calendar on the resource page if you're looking to see when they might be coming out. That was not the end. I just looked down at the script and was like, I was supposed to keep talking. Meredith's looking at me like, what? Sorry, because there's other resources coming out too, right? So there's also going to be a resource update, another drop that'll happen probably the end of this week. And again, we are putting a lot of this material out probably way before you're going to use it, because in fact, one of the things that we're going to put out this week is a packing list. Might be a little bit before you need it, but we want to put it out there just in case.
There are eager packers out there, don't worry.
Maybe I don't know. It's totally possible. Things like a packing list, some suggestions on how you might serve the city of Houston while you're there with your young people, ways to thank your congregation. I want to especially draw attention to that, especially as people are going through the process of fundraising and encouraging their congregational support, thinking about how then we thank our congregations and communicate back our thanks and gratitude for helping our young people get to the gathering and then after the gathering. And then you're going to hear us talk a lot about how we really want you to be thinking about community groups. And for some people that are not familiar with what that is, that's your individual small groups that happen within your congregation. So just some information about what you can be thinking about as you plan for those community groups. And I know some people are already kind of putting together those small groups within their own groups, or maybe your small group is already small and it doesn't need to be split into different groups. But some things to think about as you take care of that. And so we'll have that drop this month, and then we'll have a bit of a pause until I think December is then our next drop. So some great resources coming out. If you guys are thinking about like, hey, I haven't seen this yet in terms of resources, this is certainly something that you can contact our office, let us know. We can maybe even tell you when to expect some of that to come out, or you can drop it on the Facebook page and see if other people have access to those kinds of resources. So I love it when people say like, hey, does anybody have a copy of this thing? And there's lots of other people who've already done a lot of fantastic work and can help you out there.
Perfect. So those are the announcements that we have for this month, things you can look forward to, encourage your youth to look at, Gathering Store, and just some things to look forward to as we end out 2021. Juliana, you're talking about thanking congregations, and I think we owe everybody on this live stream a big thank you on behalf of the youth ministry staff. Thank you guys so much for being patient with us as we worked out the details for this new registration program. If you were on last month's live, you heard us say that this was the first time we've had a new registration program in 20 years. So it was very much a work in progress to get this up for you guys and make it easier to register your youth and your adult leaders. If you missed that last month, you can go back and watch that registration stuff. We're going to cover a little bit, but we won't go as in detail as we did last month or on the podcast. So you might want to check that out. So we're going to open the floodgates and we're going to talk about registration. If you have questions about that, pay attention. We're going to keep going through this. We're going to pay attention to the chat, and if we miss it, just post it again and we'll find it between Juliana and I or any of the other youth ministry staff that are joining us today. So let's dive in. So last time I checked this morning, there was over 175 congregations that have started their registration. So again, props to you guys. Thanks to you guys for not only sticking with us, but getting your work in and stuff. That's really great. While that's a lot, we know that there's going to be a ton more. And we want to remind you guys, you have plenty of time to get your registration information entered into the system. Plenty of time, trust us. If you're still needing help entering that registration information, we did release some step-by-step videos, and I'll get that in the chat here in a minute. If you are needing just a little bit of help, or you're like, this is way different than the last time, feel free to just watch those. They're really short. There's only 6 of them. So take your time and watch those. If after you have read your registration book, watch the step-by-step videos, and you're still a little confused or a little lost or just have a couple more questions, you can reach out to our office. Our contact information has already been posted in the chat a number of times. Find us, and our assistant registrars will help you guys out, whether it's finding your congregation ID number or just how to add people in, how to edit things. We know a couple of times people misspell their email address. I've done that multiple times. I's and L's look the same sometimes. So if you guys have questions like that, feel free to contact us and we'll help you out as much as we can. But we really do encourage you guys to download the registration book. You will hear us say that multiple times throughout this live stream and throughout the gathering process, that we want you guys to check that out. We've answered a lot of questions online already. And just a reminder, we do have a registration question thread on Facebook going on. We're constantly checking that. So if you have questions about registration, you can always post them there.
Yeah. So as Meredith said, there's a lot of time. That's because the first possible date that you could think to postmark material to send to our office is until November 1st. So you have almost a whole month still of just this month. Is the only thing you can do is put stuff in online, which is a big task. And we know some of you guys have lots of young people that you're entering. That's a lot of information, or you're still gathering your group. You're still trying to figure out who's going to come and figuring out commitment levels, and that's totally fine. Remember, the first day you can send that the paper information to our office is November 1st. Do not send it before then. Even if you're one of those groups that's already got all of your kids, your young people, and your adult leaders in the system right now, you can't send us anything. Don't send us anything before November 1st, right? And otherwise, we'll send it back to you. Starting on November 1st, we'll look for that postmark. When you postmark it on November 1st, it gets to our office, and then that's where we're going to start that process internally with that paperwork. Now, you do not have to overnight it, right? Even though it's first come, first serve, we're looking at postmarks. We're not necessarily needing you to spend extravagant sums of money to get it to us. So we would, however, love for you to decorate your envelope, or to have your youth decorate your envelope. And this is one of these ideas Meredith had, and I loved it. It was super fun last cycle. Meredith, what do we want them to do with their envelope, with their paperwork?
Last cycle, it'll be the same thing for this. We just encourage youth to decorate it. They could decorate it. We saw anything from their interpretation of the theme, their drawing of the logo. Some people included their pictures of all their people in their youth group, or they drew them in a cartoon style. We had an entire box that we just kept, and we would go through them every week and just look at how cool. We know that a lot of youth groups have a lot of youth that are very talented in drawing or writing. There are people that wrote poems for the Psalms last gathering. It was just really awesome. So if you have a youth who is interested in that and you're looking for a way to get them involved with the registration process, which we know is more adult oriented, this is a great way to do that and decorate those envelopes. Just don't put any glitter on them. I think that was the best thing. No glitter. We're anti-glitter in the youth ministry office.
We really like the people who help clean our office. We do not need that kind of hurt for them, right? And you're putting in the envelope just a select few things, right? You're not putting in all the information sheets for all of your young people. That's what's online, right? You're sending in your signed pastoral affirmation form, your registration account form, your deposit, and you can look at page 6 in the book for the acceptable forms of deposit. Make sure your congregational ID is on the memo line, and your special needs form and your LCEF account forms if those are things that you need, right? So if you have somebody who's got special needs that needs a form for that, or if you're doing the LCEF account form, those need to come in as well. So just those things, right? Pastoral affirmation form, registration account form, your deposit, and either of those additional forms if they're necessary. And that's what you're sending with us. Starting November 1st is the first time that you can do that. And we don't want you to freak out over that November date, right? We can still add people into your group after that. Now, we don't want you to send in information for one person and then add 20 people in March. That doesn't necessarily work well for our system. But if you still have a couple of kids that are trying to figure out if it's going to work in their schedule, or they're not quite sure because marching band might happen over top of that, right? You can still send in the bulk of those people, knowing that you can add in a young person later on in the process.
We do want to keep in mind that the registration rate does increase on March 1st. If you receive your poster, we've got all these important dates. They're all listed in the registration book as well as the website. So we would really encourage you guys to get your stuff in before March 1st. But to let you guys in on a little insider of how we do housing with the gathering, neither myself nor Juliana do that. We are not in charge of that, and we're so grateful for the people that are. But here's how it works. In January, since as you can imagine, there's 20,000 youth and adults that we have to house in the Houston area. So we start in January looking at those housing assignments based on the first come, first served basis. So we would encourage you, if hotels and location are really important to your group, that is the most important thing you guys could think of. Get your stuff in on November 1st, get the majority of your group. Now, if, like we said, you don't want to send in 2 people's worth of information, then add 20 people later. That's just not going to work. We'll start to house you and then it won't fit in right. You'll get kicked out of the housing you got in on November 1st. So if you guys can keep that in mind, we try to do our best to get you guys housed in the best way possible, and a location that works for you guys in your group, and get you all the rooms that you need. But keep that date in mind, and also that March 1st date when the registration price increases. And also, registration does close on May 4th, so you want to mark that one on your calendar. We don't really let anybody else come in after that. You can do cancellations and substitutions till the end of May. But that's just kind of like you don't want to cancel your whole group or substitute your whole group. So get that done. There's no rush. We're not rushing you guys, but we do want to get you guys as good of properties as we can. We want to see how many people are coming to the gathering. So if you can get your registration in on November 1st, that's great, but do not feel rushed to do that right away.
Yeah, I know. I think part of that push and pull, especially for youth leaders right now, I know as you're trying to form your group, is you want people to commit to that so that you can get their information, so you can start your fundraising or continue your fundraising process, because you want to help form that group with team meetings and with meetings with adult leaders and time together to prepare. And at the same time, you want to make the gathering as available to young people as possible. And for some young people, they can't commit right now for a variety of different reasons, right? They're still looking for calendars or still waiting on information. And so we want to make sure that we're with you in that process on our end as well, right? We want you to be thinking about and formulating your groups now, thinking about that, but you still have plenty of time. If you have somebody who comes to you in December and says, like, I kind of miss it, but like, I really still want to go, we want to help make that possible for that young person. We want as many young people to come and experience the gathering as we can. So certainly know that just because you're putting in information in October, just because even if you send a deposit in November, you are not totally locked down, unless that's a part of your process for your church, right? For some people it is. Sometimes you need that commitment that far in advance, but we do want to make sure that we are open and available for those 1, 2, 3 kids that come into your group at the last minute who we really want to make sure that they're able to come to the gathering if that's possible for your church. I'm looking through questions, right? I'm seeing some that are getting answered, right? Questions about some COVID stuff. We do want to just encourage you to go back to the COVID FAQs, look through those. That's got a lot of information there. It's going to kind of give you the best information we have right now. Right. And as you guys have all experienced in the last 18 months, right, the matter is that, like, it's going to change. And what we don't want to do is make decisions hastily or without enough information. And so we're going to continue to update those. We're continuing to meet with the right people at whatever level we can to be able to make sure we're making those right decisions to keep everybody healthy and safe. And so keep looking. We're going to keep updating those things. So you can expect that those are going to update. We'll let you know when they do. But yeah, I'm seeing some great questions there about that. Meredith, are you seeing it? I'm seeing some other stuff there about where you go, going to the website.
Yes, the website is going to be like your number one place to go, and then there would be like social media after that. Jennifer does have a question about how housing works with adults and kids. What are the rules? This is a really popular question that we get each gathering cycle. Unfortunately, the answer you might not like from us. As the gathering office, we cannot mandate how you divide your youth and adults. That is a congregation by congregation policy. Some churches allow adults to stay in rooms with youth, and some are like, absolutely not. They stay in separate rooms. So that is up to you guys. If you have more questions or you just want some, maybe some guidance on how to word that to your congregation, I think maybe we'd be happy to help with that. But that is a congregation by congregation basis.
Yeah, look at, I mean, you can listen to end goals. We have several episodes on risk management and those kinds of things. Essentially, we're going to say you need to know what your church's policy is and what does your insurance policy say and what is the policy for safety and security and risk management in your congregation. And so sometimes that means talking to some people that you wouldn't normally talk to about planning a youth ministry gathering. But yeah, check in and check with those leaders. If you don't know, this is a great time to ask that question of the leadership in your congregation. Make sure that you guys have a policy in place that everyone feels comfortable and secure with. But that's because that's different for everybody. We can't necessarily settle that for you. I know we get that question a lot, and it's like a lot of things, right? It differs from congregation to congregation, and so we want to be respectful of what congregations need for each one of those things.
I would encourage you guys, if you have more registration questions, this is the place to do it. After this month, I don't think we're going to be doing any more registration Facebook Live.
I don't know. I take bets on that. I might bet Meredith $1 we're going to have to talk about this in November. I'm just saying. Right. I mean, it's a big thing, right? And honestly, I gotta say, like, as you guys are thinking of questions for us, like, so incredibly exciting in our office, nervous for sure, but super excited in our office. We pray for the young people, for you as adult leaders, for your congregations throughout the cycle, all the time, the people that are going to be at the gathering, and to be able to start to put names and congregations and locations to the people that are going to be at the gathering is incredibly exciting for us. It is just a thrill for us to be able to start to open up this process and to get to know you guys better as you prepare for the gathering. Somebody's asking about adult leaders. You can register with your group. Joel, that depends on how many young people you're bringing. There's a ratio. Meredith, you have the book next to you.
I absolutely have the book. It is on page 4 of your registration book. We have the youth to adult ratio.
Blue circly thing?
Yes.
So refer to that ratio. Yes. Mark is asking a question. If you travel with another church, should you register together? You're going to register as 2 separate churches, and then you're going to put your paperwork in the same envelope, and you're going to send them in the same envelope together. And that is how we know that we're doing that. I'm like, I say that, Meredith, is there a page in the book?
There is a page. It's actually page 8 of the gathering registration book. There's a little paragraph about groups traveling together. And there's a place to put it on, I believe there's a place to put it on the registration program. So you might just look for that option. If you're watching the step-by-step videos, there is a video that talks about what to do with traveling with the congregation together.
Ooh, Jen has a good question, and I'm not 100% sure the answer, but I'm gonna give you what I think is gonna be my best answer for the moment, and maybe if somebody smarter, my boss, who it might be in the chat, might answer this. Right, there's a chance to say like, hey, you can opt into getting information from us, also from the Concordia universities. How much will they receive? Not a lot. I mean, we do very much limit it to specifically to our office for youth ministry things, and to the Concordias in terms of like wanting to encourage them to consider universities, which I'm guessing if they're a teenager right now with their personal email address, they're getting a ton of email from universities. I can't tell you how frequently that information is going to be used, but it's not a list that we're going to be, sending out spam or lots of information from. It is a very small and select group. But yeah, I mean, I would suggest asking your young people if they're comfortable with that. I don't think you can, I don't want you to opt in without their permission. That would be a good thing to double check and ask them.
Jerry asks if they can only have 1 leader for 3 youth. The reason the gathering suggests having 2 adult leaders, let's say something happens to one of your youth, they have to go to the urgent care or the ER, you would be leaving the rest of your youth without an adult leader, or you'd be taking them to the ER. And I don't think any adult leader wants to take a group of kids to the ER. So we really do encourage you to have 2 adult leaders for a group like that small, or just in general, that's kind of like the basis.
Right, but the other thing I want you to remind you of is if you don't have another adult leader, reach out to a district coordinator, right? Look to your district coordinator, say like, hey, I'm sure are there any other churches in my area that you know of who are going? And often you can travel or work with another group to help double up on some of those things. We see a lot of small churches that maybe can combine in some of those ways to help support each other if you have a smaller group with less adults. So that's a great place to start to get some support. I know that finding adult leaders who are able to, and want to commit to spending up to 5 to 7 days with a bunch of teenagers in Houston in July can be a bit of a hard sell sometimes. I don't know why. I would love to do it, but not everybody does. And so your district coordinators are great helps to be able to do that. So I can tell you with you.
I don't think they'll want to stay in the media room.
Here's the problem with that. Only if you can catch me, and I'm used to news perpetually for about 5 days. So that's hard, right? So it's one of those things. You're certainly not the only congregation that can struggle with that, and we want to help support you. Let's we can find solutions. We want people to be able to come. So
Kelly is asking about hosting a team from Hungary. We do have an international participant director that I think they communicate with you guys. That is a pretty specific question. If you would want to reach out to our office, just email the NYG registration at lcms.org, and we will help you with your specific situation.
Yeah. Okay. Loving this. Things are thinking really, really well. Yeah, we are looking. So Jerry, it would be a question so that we're still answering that question, just to clarify, right? You would be traveling or connecting, combining with another group so that when you'd register separately, but you would come together, right? And together you would have more than one. If you have more questions about that specifically, we encourage you to email our office and ask that question to us, and we can. Okay. I'm looking. It looks like people's questions are getting answered. I love this, you guys. Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and leave the registration thread question in the chat so people can go to that if they continue to have more registration questions. If you look through the comments, you'll see we have a number of places where we have listed our contact information, our email, our phone number. You guys are on the Facebook group already, so we've got a million places for you to reach out to us. Pick one, and we're happy to help you guys. We're just about out of time. We're 1 minute over. If you guys still have questions, please feel free to comment on Facebook or contact the office, and we're happy to help.
We do track, so if you're watching this later, we do continue to track the comments on this video and answer questions. So if we missed your question for some reason, or you're watching this later, find people watching this later, you can still put comments down. We'll still respond to those. Again, the registration thread. Look at the registration book. It's a great spot to look at the registration book. But if you have unique questions for your group, we love being able to talk with you. Lauren and Jessica are doing a fantastic job answering those phone calls and those emails. And I know they appreciate hearing from you. So we are continuing to pray for you guys as you start this process. I know lots of you guys are really in the middle of that group formation time and getting started and beginning to put some details together, and I love that. We want to be here to help and support you.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. We are already looking forward to next month and looking forward. We only have 2 more of these for the rest of this year, which is crazy to think of. And then we'll go into 2022.
We have lots more of these before the gathering, but yeah, we only have 2 more in the calendar year.
Thank you guys so much for joining us, and we can't wait to see you next month.